Podcast Rock City.
Hey, this is Nickelbag Rick. It's his Podcast Rock City. And Joe.
Hello.
And Trey.
Hi there.
And we're missing one today of the four who is one on Podcast Rock City. Lee is taking a little vacay on this podcast, so she'll be back in a couple.
I think that what you said about us performing like Kiss did for that Italian award that they won without Ace Frehley, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
today.
when they ran into the Studio 54 without Ace
for
the Elder,
like 150 yards they ran.
Yeah.
And then
they played.
I.
Did they do two songs?
Yeah,
they did I.
Yeah, I believe it was
And the
I.
Oath.
And the Oath.
Yeah.
And so that's what we thought we'd kind of delve into today is talk about the Elder, of all things on Podcast Rock City. We just thought that's that's one of those kind of subjects I think Kiss fans really love to talk about because it was such a bizarre kind of album for Kiss. I think it was an
effort. They went for impressing other musicians and critics.
I think that was the whole thing. It was about critics.
And although to be fair, I really love the album. The one thing about me that's different than maybe you guys is that I accept Kiss no matter what. I think that what happened to me was I sat there in Atlanta and watched the farewell show, and when it was all over, I went, "Fuck,
right,
I'm done. No more Kiss."
Not me. I was like, I've got tickets to 3 more cities,
Well,
and then I will say farewell.
But when it was all over, I was like, God, I got no more Kiss, man. What am I gonna do? But I guess pro wrestling is my other thing. But at the same time,
They tried to put Kiss in pro wrestling.
they did put Kiss in.
Well, yeah, I know,
It
but not
failed
successfully.
miserably.
Kind of like the Elder.
Yeah, but so I'm one of those people that I'm just happy to have Kiss, in any form, and I will go, to the shows and enjoy myself. But with the Elder, I remember being in Kmart, and my mom was like buying me, those Kmart cheap ass pants like that guy's wearing in like Jam's wearing in Detroit Rock City, and
yeah.
I walked past it, and I was like, I was like,
whatever.
Kiss, and no pictures on it, no nothing on it. I was like,
just a hand.
and I just said, Mom, I need you to buy this, and she said, absolutely not.
She didn't buy it at all.
Nope, I didn't even get that record until I was.
I need you to buy this.
I think I was.
I need you to buy this. I don't even know what it is.
I was like a
but I must
sophomore
have.
in high school when I finally got a hold of it.
To me, I can remember being sort of, as a kid being very disillusioned and unhappy with like Dynasty and Unmasked, coming from where Kiss had came from, Destroyer and Love Gun, Rock and Roll Over. And I just felt like when those albums come out, well, when Unmasked come out, I can remember I was at a Kmart with my mom. It was on a Saturday, and I'll never forget the first time I saw this record. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was like some sort of parody album of Kiss. I was like,
Right.
Kiss wouldn't put out an album cover that looks this silly. So of course I turned it over to see if it had Casablanca, all the little, telltale signs of a real Kiss album. And I can remember like the logo on the back having this sort of greenish, white, purplish, almost tropical look to it. And I'm
Right.
like, what is Kiss doing? And got the album and listened to it, and it just sounded like Dynasty Part 2. So, I was not really overly. It was kind of right there. It's like, what is Kiss doing? Are they going to bounce back from this? So when the Elder come out, I thought, okay, I know Kiss is in studio. They're making an album. It's supposed to be this big deal. They're, it's obviously very secretive of what it's going to be about. And then I heard the commercial for it on the radio, and they're like the new album from Kiss. And I remember for some reason Kiss albums would always come out in and around my birthday. So I'm like, all right, I'll get this for my birthday.
That's cool.
Close to the Christmas season.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Why didn't I ever figure that out? But, and so of course I asked for that album for my birthday, and I remember getting it and listening to it, and there was no pictures, and the inner sleeve was this plastic cover, and there was a story.
Clear
yes,
plastic.
clear plastic. And and of course I was excited because this was the first time Eric Carr would be on a Kiss album. Trey's dying over here.
Yeah,
and it's
it
usually
wasn't me coughing.
I know it's usually Joe, but you know what happens then? We'll start putting in the bong effects, right? The Kiss bong.
There are Kiss bongs.
I have a
seen
Kiss
them.
bowl.
I saw.
I bought at a.
I saw a Gene Simmons head, and it was like.
I have seen that. I bought a Kiss bowl at a Kiss Expo up in Charlotte. Remember we went to and we met the guy that does the intro to Alive, and some bodyguard, and Lee was there. We had all gone up there with her.
Yeah, I just heard somebody just told me that Gene signed to do another another expo.
Another indie expo?
Yeah, in South Carolina.
Oh, not in India.
We'll have to look that up.
Is there a date on that?
No, we'll have to look it up, but whether or not it's true. And one thing, and I'm really curious to hear Trey, on this, because in case you forgot, Trey is Rick's son, and Trey's you're 22 now. So you're
double deuce.
Dropping a double deuce. You have grown up with Kiss, rather in a different way than your dad and I have.
Sure.
Where we discovered them when we were kids, because somebody introduced them. You were kind of like
He grew up into Kiss.
In Kiss.
I'll let Trey explain it to you.
Which is amazing, by the way.
Just a funny little story. When Trey was. I couldn't take him to his first Kiss concert, which was Revenge. It was when he was just an infant, really, And so I was like, when you get older, I'll take you to Kiss. And then Kiss came around on the reunion tour, and he was like in kindergarten.
Yep.
And his mom would not let him go. Trey cried. He pitched a fit. I knew my kid was a big Kiss fan when he pitched a huge fit and couldn't go. So I, of course, bought him all kinds of stuff at the show. So then, and I was telling him, don't worry, Kiss will come back. Gene's making too much money,
They will come again.
And, of course, he did, finally get to see the original Kiss. But, yeah, growing up into Kiss, Trey.
Well, definitely not something to be upset about. As far as you want me to talk about the Elder as a young kid,
just talk about the Elder. That's cool.
Well, I mean, growing up with it, I didn't really go in any particular order with the album since we already had all of them. So I didn't have, I would usually listen to a lot of live albums and kind of get a feel for eras and everything like that. And we had bootlegs of the Sydney show, so I knew what they sounded like around that area. And then when I finally did sit down and listen to The Elder, I guess just like anyone, you're confused. There's some good tracks on there, but still, for the most part, you're just thinking, this doesn't sound like a Kiss record. Even Dynasty and Unmasked sound more like a Kiss record than this does. This sounds like, it should be, saved for the stage as far as like the Broadway stage as opposed to the Kiss Arena stage.
Right.
So...
The live stuff for this is like, forget it.
I can remember too. See, that was my thing with the Elder. When I got it and I listened to it, I just didn't really know what to do with it because, like I said, I was kind of confused. Was this going to be a movie? Was this going to be like another movie, like Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park? Was this going to be some live thing that they were going to? Oh, Tater, what's wrong? You want to be on the podcast too? You could be the wiener dog and the member of Kiss.
We'll design the makeup.
Right.
Dick on their face.
I just really, I would listen to the album and I would try to be all psyched out about it and like it, but it just wasn't like Rock and Roll Over or Destroyer. Even Destroyer as a concept album was one of those albums that even from the beginning, Detroit Rock City, just like in our intro, you were kind of interested to see where this was going. And this just didn't seem to have that. And then when they showed the outfits that they were wearing, that was like, punch number 2. I was like, man, Gene looked, I don't know,
like a pirate.
Yeah, they all looked like these. Ace had the only cool kind of costume.
And most people that I talked to hated Ace's costume in that.
Yeah, that's usually
I didn't mind it, but I mean, I didn't understand what the deal with the high top.
Oh, I like
Converse
that.
were.
I did kind of like the high top Converse, thing. But I'm just saying, out of all of them, Eric Carr's was pretty cool. But I just didn't like they cut their hair short. And,
Yeah.
And it was still, I would try to catch any kind of interview in that time because I'm like, well, maybe they'll make some sort of sense of what the fuck this album's about, because I still don't understand what it is. And, when I first bought the record, I didn't hear the little piece at the end where it's got them talking about
Morpheus.
Morbius, he has the light in his eye. And I remember the first time I guess when it get to the end of the album, I would just either walk out of the room or just pick up the needle and walk off and never heard it. And one day I was listening to it with headphones, and I was just listening to it trail out, and that part come on, and I just kind of sat up like, oh my God, what is this? I mean, and it was still relatively new to when the album was coming out. I guess I was trying to just really understand the Elder. And then I remember spending the night over a buddy of mine's house when the TV show Fridays come on, and we were all excited that Kiss was going to be on the show.
Right.
And I remember his older brother going, really ragging on Kiss. He was like, what the hell happened to Kiss, man? I mean, they just look stupid. What is this album? And I was just like, going, I don't know, man. It was hard to defend that record,
Right.
It was, because, but I've always said this about the Elder. I've always thought that, if that album would have been successful, they had, it had everything going for it. Okay, they've already previously worked with Bob Ezrin in the past,
who admittedly was heavy on drugs when he
right
did this album,
but
which explains a lot.
But at the same time, though, just a few years before, he just finished working on Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Just a year before.
A year before, right. So I think, Kiss tried to get, I don't want to say like a Pink Floyd type of audience because they're not going to attract that kind of level of audience. But I think they wanted to try to say, well, we've got, a better drummer, and we've got this idea, and we're going to try this, and we're going to do this, and we're very conceptual.
We can be serious.
We could be smart.
Yeah, and we could. And this is the '80s, and things are changing, and we're trying to change with it. And
they recorded at Ace's studio, right?
Right.
Ace in the Hole.
Mm-hmm. And like I say, as a fan, it was just so hard to defend that record because you just didn't know what the hell. But I think that if that album would have been successful, they would have been hailed as geniuses. If that would have been made Kiss look like, a Quadrophenia or a The Wall.
Yeah, but they would have also probably done another one.
Well, what the whole story of behind the Elder, what they were going to eventually do with the Elder, don't you?
Yeah, I just watched The Matrix. I pulled that up, by the way.
The Matrix?
Yeah, there's the story, and you told me about this. I believe you sent this to me, where people wonder if The Matrix was a ripoff of The Elder. Have you never heard this before?
I remember this. I know what you're talking about.
I'll read the little article. It's from Geeks of Doom is where we found it. And it says how an odd Kiss album influenced The Matrix. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it just basically says, let's see. It is my contention that the Wachowski brothers, is that how you say it? Wachowski?
Sure.
Okay. Were influenced by the story behind Kiss music from The Elder and contributed significantly to the character growth of their saga. And they go through, if you get a chance to go through, it's Geeks of Doom is the website. And there's a whole little thing that breaks down piece by piece, where I believe it's is it Morbius?
Yes, Morbius.
And Morpheus.
Right.
And the one. And how, the one is supposed to turn darkness into light and, save the world and blah, blah, blah. And, and when you sit back and think about it, you're like, damn.
There was three Matrix movies, and
there was supposed to be
three of these. If this album was going to be successful, they were going to be followed up by two other albums like this, which would have told this whole story. Yet again, I mean, all of a sudden, Kiss is kind of turning into like, you know, the Lord of the Rings. You know, and
Kiss and George Lucas team up for the Elder movie.
you know, but
That might have been
you had
cool.
you had no idea back then. Was Kiss? You know, and we didn't have mass media like we do now. You know, where you can get on, you know, all kind of websites to find out, you know, spoilers and if this is happening. You know, there's supposedly some guy making an Elder movie.
Really?
Look it up. He's looking for like people to help fund the project and everything. But
There's a trailer out there and everything, I think.
there sure is.
Wow. We'll have to look that up. Imagine fucking Eric Carr, man, coming into this heavy metal band that did have or hard rock.
I was going to say,
hard rock.
especially coming right off Unmasked. I mean, that's a hard sell.
And and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna record my first album," and then, what the fuck am I doing? What is this?
You know, they said that, you know, he kind of asked questions, but being all new, he didn't want to
Rock the boat.
Well, right. He's like, they know what they're doing. They've been doing this a lot longer than I have. I'm just going to go in there and play drums or whatever on this and do it. But that had to be an odd.
Well, especially as a drummer, you know, you had to learn all the songs for the Unmasked tour, and they're all very upbeat, and some of them are very poppy, and then you get to the Elder recordings, and most of which he didn't actually get to play a lot of on. He played bass for some things. He played drums, but there was like he doesn't play drums on I.
Right.
I think the guy's name is Alan Schwartzberg.
Also, couldn't understand why they never put a solo in I.
Right.
It's
Probably
like
because Ace wasn't there. It was
well,
his studio, but he was upstairs at a poker game.
it makes me wonder, though, did they do that just to kind of, you know, kind of give him the finger?
Maybe.
It's like, okay, we're going to release this as a single, but guess what? You're not going to be on there, just like he wasn't in most of the recording.
And I know there are people listening right now going, I know why there's not a solo in I know why this, I know that. Write us.
Yeah,
know.
we're at Podcast Rock City. I almost gave the other web address. podcastrockcity@gmail.com, or you can send it to podvomit /podcastrockcity.com. We'll get it either one way or the
We'll
other.
get lots of hate
Or
mail.
shoot it
You
to
guys got
Facebook.
that fucking wrong, and how dare you?
Well, you know what, though? I mean, if you're going to sit and take everything that we say as the gospel, I mean, you know, we're big hardcore fans, but, you know, man,
This is a lot of opinion.
yeah, absolutely. It's just a discussion. You know, you know, I can't.
If there's something out there, also one of the things that that we can throw out there is there's something that you want us to talk about and just get our opinions, on it. Send us a topic and we'll,
Sure, absolutely.
we'll bullshit about it for an hour and
Right.
and we'll give you full credit for coming up with the topic and maybe we'll even call you and make you sit in on it. You can do it via phone.
Yeah, we can Skype you in.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll Skype you in, and then you can sit. You won't be sitting with us, but you'll be with us, and we'll BS.
You'll be
about,
cyber sitting with us.
Yeah, ooh.
Cyber sit on our faces.
Yes. See, wrong podcast.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's right. Right.
But when the first time I heard the album, I was just, I don't know, man. I think I was just so excited to hear something that I hadn't heard. A buddy of mine had this tape, and I had I think I had an extra copy of a Judas Priest album. I'm sure it was the Judas Priest album, and I traded. His name was Tim, and he was playing drums for a band that I was in. And he was like, "Oh, I got this thing. It's called The Elder," and I was like, "What the f- is that? I don't remember it." I brought it
The album
home.
my mom wouldn't buy me at Kmart.
I put it in, I pushed play, and I remember just listening to it. And I remember bringing my mom in and during Just a Boy and going, "Do you know who this is?" My mom was like, "I have no idea." I was like, "This is Kiss." And she was like,
Who? And you're like, the band that you wouldn't buy the album at Kmart. Jeez.
A member?
and
They're the devil.
one day I'll have to tell you the story about how I got unmasked, but it's
Wait, what did you say? Oh, Unmasked. I thought you said how I got on meth.
I did too.
that's a different podcast and a different story.
Right.
As I itch my face.
Right.
But even my mom was like, "I really like this," and I was like, "Well, that must mean it sucks, Mom."
Yeah.
You like
Throwing
it.
this in the garbage.
Going to the trash.
You come home from school and she's like dusting the house to "I am just a boy," all cranked up. You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Something's fucked up.
Yeah.
Now, have either of you ever listened to it and the proper set list, like the version on the album with starts with the Oath? It's supposed to start out with Fanfare and then go into either Odyssey or Just a Boy or one of the two. I can't remember, but there's an original track listing that's on the remastered. I believe they've re-released it with that order.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure I've listened to it in that chronological order.
It doesn't make it much better. Really,
I just
when you get down
listened to it. I just listened to it with, I put the needle down, I hear all that little dust on
Crackling.
and then I let it go. And I know, as a matter of fact, when I rediscovered LPs, the Elder was the first thing I bought because I thought to myself, man, I really like to have this on vinyl.
Right.
And I went through eBay and I found it cheap, and it was in really great condition with all the, even with the clear sleeve on the inside, which they say is very hard to come by.
Right.
And so I hadn't had a record player in my house. I hadn't used one. I put the needle down. I sat down. Fucking half the album's over. I got to get up and go over. I'm like, good God, when I was a kid, did I really have to flip this out?
I know, we were all so much thinner back then.
Every 20 minutes,
you look
I'm
at yourself.
flipping a record.
You look at yourself in the '70s. You're like, holy crap, I'm so skinny. What happened? It's like, oh, now I can look at the internet. I got a remote for my TV. I don't have to get up.
I was getting all that exercise, having to change the channel with a hand and flip the record over.
It's like now every time I sit down, I'm getting back up to go and flip the record. And I'm going, man, I don't remember being this annoyed.
And it's like 45s. Jesus Christ, it's like
one song.
3 minutes, and it's like, okay, fuck this, man, flip it over. Why would they always do that too? I always thought that was kind of a dumb idea. They'd give you like a 45, for instance, Detroit Rock City. The flip side of it was Beth.
Beth, right.
Now, but you know why they put Beth on there? Because they felt that it was a throwaway song.
Right.
That it was going to be never listened to, just thrown out. And of course, it had a different, effect. I mean, it turned around for a big hit for them, obviously. But for the most part, always bands did that. Throw out 45s with a good song and some crappy ass song on the back of it. And I'm like, why not put two decent songs on there? I mean, what? I don't understand that.
Well, the thing is that, they saved they figured that the side A is the one that the record, that the radio stations were going to play, and side B would be something that, they just ignored.
Right.
But, and then I watched this thing and on one of my bootlegs, which is all the interviews and stuff right around the time when the solo albums came out. So in the the mid 70s period.
77,
and
78.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe Paul Stanley says that it was a Atlanta radio station that flipped it over first and played Beth.
I'll tell you who that radio station probably was. Back in the 70s, it was if you live in the Atlanta area and you're lived here as long as I have, you'll remember WQXI. It was called Quixie Radio. It was 94. Now it's a pop station here in the.
Go figure.
Yeah, but
it's not Spanish.
No, not yet. But it's coming. But they was one of the biggest pop stations in the 70s that really made or break, could make or break a career, And they also, that same radio station was the one that WKRP in Cincinnati was based upon as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I wonder if they had a hot Lonnie Anderson type. Oh, man, but what's her
little
name
known
was
fact
hotter?
there. Oh, Bailey.
Bailey was so
Quarters.
fine.
All right.
I remember the Kiss poster hanging.
That's
in the
right. I
guy's
remember when
office.
Andy tacked it on the
Yeah,
wall and said
the
they're going to
first
make
episode.
a format change. That's right. And it was
First episode.
What poster was it?
Spirit of 76.
Yep, I have the original one still. Not from the WKRP show, but I still have that.
I was going to say
that I bought it.
It's not like jumping the fence. It's not like jumping the counter at a movie theater and ripping a poster off the wall.
We will go into great detail in a future podcast about my, exploits of trying to obtain very hard to find Kiss merchandise. But
it's like
I'm like the Errol Flynn.
The only poster that Rick has that's not hanging on a wall because it has a Tommy Thayer in it. Okay, I'm sorry, I brought up the T word.
Yeah, the T word.
Double T's.
But
yeah. So
double
I mean,
T's.
when it comes to the Elder, I mean, let's talk about let's talk about the songs. So I would say, okay, so the track listing that I have here that I pulled up on the web is there's The Oath, Just a Boy, Dark Light, Only You, Under the Rose, A World Without Heroes, Mr. Blackwell, Odyssey, and I. Now, as I'm going through this...
No Escape from the Island? You say that one?
Yep, look, it's not on here.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, on the first album, it wasn't on the album, on the back of it, the track listing, Escape from the Island, but it was on
The label.
On the label. And I, yet again, don't know if that was a swipe at Ace or...
Could have been.
You know...
But, when I'm going through here, I'm Under the Rose, I loved that song. Only You,
I love that song. And Mr. Blackwell. Oh, that's another thing too.
Dark Lights, not a bad song.
All the Ace stuff to me was some of the best.
Definitely.
Dark Light, Escape from the Island.
I don't like. To me is just another attempt
Anthem-esque
at
song.
rock and roll all night.
Yeah,
He even says it at the end.
I agree. I did like this. I remember when I first heard it, on that commercial. I was like, oh man, this is kind of catchy, but I like it okay. I can't believe that, I can believe that Kiss has never really played it live. It's too Anthem-esque, you can't
I've seen him perform it live.
Oh, on the boat?
On the boat.
Snaps and all.
Actually, I think the crowd was doing it, and it was funny because I know they didn't do the whole song.
They didn't add a solo in there, did they? That'd have been Tommy's perfect attempt to bring some originality to Kiss.
No, I don't think so. I just want to. I'll have to go back and watch it eventually, but maybe one day what we can do is I have the whole Unplugged show.
Right,
maybe
all of it. You talking about the cruise?
From the cruise.
Oh, okay.
Maybe what we can do one day is throw it on that TV right there and just watch it and look at all the stuff, because they play stuff that the Kiss world blew up.
But see, to me, it's just a little too late. Don't care.
No. I understand what you're saying, but just having the chance to see them do these songs was pretty cool.
Kind of like the convention tour.
Yeah. The convention tour. I blew out my knee and I didn't get to go to that. I had surgery the day before. It sucked so bad. But okay. Anyway, so when we talk about the Elder, let's start with Trey. Do you have a song? Okay.
I was just going to say really quick, just kind of as a side note to the Elder, we can also throw in, remember, Kiss Killers.
Killers, okay, yeah.
Because there was 4
the same time.
unreleased songs that had come out on Kiss Killers. Kiss Killers wasn't originally released in the U.S. I think it was just a European thing.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a greatest hits package with, on side A, 2 songs.
Was it Nowhere
I'm
to
a Legend
Run?
Tonight.
I'm a Legend Tonight, Nowhere to Run.
Partners in Crime.
Partners in Crime.
And Down on Your Knees.
Right, and Partners in Crime is really good. That's my favorite song on there. But it made me wonder, why did these songs get rejected from the Elder soundtrack?
They're all better than the Elder.
I agree. And it almost felt like it was a little too late when Killers did eventually get released in the States. Nobody cared at this point, about Kiss, because they was already confused with, the whole concept album. And
The cover is cool.
The cover is cool.
Killers.
I've got both. I have the German S one, and I have the American with the lightning bolt.
I had
S's.
the German S one when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to it, but I've got the other one now.
But those songs were far superior to me than what was on the Elder. It was just like I couldn't understand why these songs were never made it onto the.
Maybe they were holding them over so somebody would buy Killers and not go and fucking buying another double platinum.
I guarantee you that was a recoup our losses kind of album.
Right.
Possibly.
Let's put this out and put these songs. I'd love to see the library of stuff that Kiss has never released.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'm from reading online and stuff, I'm finding out that there is like in Kiss Exposed, they talk about the library of concerts that they had videotaped and everything. My understanding is they don't really have a whole lot of it. That a lot of that stuff, because if they did, when they released, Kissology, damn, all they did was package every bootleg I own already and threw them on
and
clean it up real nice.
Cut them though. I didn't like
cut them down.
I didn't like that on some concerts stuff was taken out. I didn't like on some of the interviews, for instance, like Tom Snyder, Mike Douglas is all edited. It's cut down, and
Yeah.
why not? I mean, this is Kissology. This is the hard to find stuff,
The definitive collection.
and right. So
I was the things that I was hoping for that did not, they were nowhere to be found. I really wanted to see the Eric Carr's first concert at the Meadowlands.
And that's, something that is weird about. I know that footage exists because if you look on that Kissology with the, Sydney show and everything before, in the menu, it shows Eric playing drums with that original Fox makeup with it. It has, it's a little different.
It's like a mask almost.
It's ugly.
Well, it's just too convoluted. It's too much going on. It's kind of almost like
Peter's first makeup.
the first album makeup.
Yeah.
He had somebody else do it, but it's like that. It's like, Jesus Christ, who could do this every time? It
Yeah.
just seems like this was just a lot of work. These little lines and all that mess. So that footage exists. It's got to be out there, and I can't understand why Kiss didn't put that out on that DVD. I don't understand. Why would they not? Are they waiting? See, I've even said this is what Kiss will do. They'll put out another Kissology 4, and it'll be
Kissology 4, the stuff you really wanted.
Well, I think it'll be everything from where the last one ended, and it'll go into like new Kiss of today, and it'll focus shit on the cruise, like some of the footage from the cruise from one of them, or maybe both of them,
Right.
and whatever tours they've done, and Sonic Boom and Monster and all this, and they'll put all this together, and then after all that comes out, they'll put out something like Kiss the Vault, and it's like everything is uncut, all full length, and it'll cost.
Yeah, $6,000.
It'll just
like
be-
the book.
It'll be the size of a mattress, if not larger.
Right.
But so but what I wanted to ask you guys was, if you this is the Stranded on an Island portion of our show. If you're stranded on an island and all you have is one song from the from the Elder to listen to
That's your list. That's all you
for
need.
the rest of your life, what song is it? You got the Oath,
I already know
Just
what
a
mine will
Boy,
be.
Dark Light,
I already know what mine will
Only
be.
You, Under the Rose,
Mine's just gonna be Escape from the Island.
Escape from
Because
the
I'll-
no
I'll-
vocals.
No, because I want to get off there with just one goddamn Kiss song. It has two meanings. It really rocks, and I want to get off the goddamn island.
Right, I am stuck on this island with this song from this one album. So.
Yeah.
What about you, Trey?
I mean, I like that one a lot too. If I had to pick one with vocals, I guess probably Only You.
Only you are stuck on this island. Bo, 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 bo.
I would go. It's really hard for me, but I think that I would go with Under the Rose.
Really?
Yeah,
I like that one. I like Odyssey
it's
a lot.
that song for me. The whole, it's so like powerful and so like it's
think
so
my-
orchestra sounding.
If I had to pick, I think if I was going to pick one with vocals, but I've already made my decision, I would go with Dark Light.
Or Don't Run.
See, that's one of the things is, there's so many good songs on the album. When you think about it, even to me personally, I listen to crap that's on the radio these days. And I don't mean that all stuff on the radio is crap, but most of it is. And to me, and I would put this stuff up against a lot of stuff.
I really like Odyssey, even though it's very untraditional for Kiss. Have you ever heard the other version, the Tony Powers? That's on YouTube too. It's not drastically different, but I like Paul Stanley's version.
Well, I think
better.
the other thing that really kind of kicked you in the nuts with the Elder, though, was A World Without Heroes. Yet again, was another song kind of like on Gene's solo album when he did When You Wish Upon a Star, which was, it's just very out of left field for the Demon to be singing, When
Jiminy
You Wish
Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket, When You Wish Upon a Star. So when
Exactly.
World Without Heroes.
World Without Heroes. I don't know why. I could see the stupid video in my head. I don't know why I just brain farted. But at the end of it, where Gene cries,
Yeah.
and Ace is playing an acoustic guitar in the video, and it's like, yet again, when your friends are going, yeah, man, told you Kiss sucked, and you're just like,
Man.
They're serious now.
Yeah, you've hurt the demon's feelings. He's
Now-
crying.
This time it's personal.
But, yet again, World Without Heroes, great song. I mean, and to me, I tell you what I liked about World Without Heroes was the fact that it was kind of an endearing song about Gene and Heroes, how he loves, the larger-than-life characters and everything. So I always thought that was kind of a neat twist with the song, and like I say, I did like it, but it just like I say,
It didn't help.
No, of course not. Not him crying all over.
I remember so
Weeping, the
definitively
weeping demon.
being. I mean, I lived in Miami when this came out, and I remember playing with some friends. And man, I living in Miami, it's just like living in Atlanta, except
With Cubans.
with Cubans. But the thing is the heat here is different, so you don't play outside as much as you would. And in Miami, we were never in the house. It was like I saw my mom in the morning on a summer day, and then I saw her when I came home when the sun was down. That was how it worked.
Joe rolled cigars all day long.
I
as a
stole
child.
sugar cane, actually. Anyway, I got shot at a few times.
Cane.
Anyway,
That's explaining a lot right now.
Anyway, and I remember leaving, and my friends were like, "Where are you going? We're in the middle of a game." I was like, Kiss is going to be on Solid Gold. And that Solid Gold was good for two reasons. One, seeing ass.
Yeah, the Solid Gold Dancers.
The Solid Gold Dancers had fine asses, and Kiss was going to be on it. Now, and I didn't really understand, they had that puppet Madam on there.
Right.
And I didn't really understand all
Madam
that.
and Waylon.
Yeah. And I didn't understand
That's
a
what-
lot of their jokes, but...
The Weeping Demon and Waylon and Madam. Waylon and Weeping.
Madam Stanley.
she was wearing a star on her eye. That's
Right.
right. Anyway, and
now
I went
Paul
home,
looks like Madam Stanley.
And when well, I check him off for coming on the show now.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to come on your show. You called me a puppet.
It was good.
You called me an old woman puppet. I resent that.
So I sat in front of the TV show, TV. I remember what was on right before it. It was the very end of one of the Planet of the Apes movies. It's the one where I guess they were in they weren't in that alternate whatever. They were on
Yeah.
and they were running on the ship with the baby, and they got killed, and
Right.
and then it went off the air, and I was like, thank God. And then it started, and of course, halfway through the show, Kiss is on there. Andy Gibb
Of course.
was hosting it, and I remember the first thing they did. I think the first thing they played was "I." They played that or lip synced to that, and then after that, it was they showed the video to A World Without Heroes and Gene with the tear. But I also remember going, awesome. It's just so happy to see them on television, after all that time. Because before that, the last thing I remember seeing was the commercial for Kiss Unmasked.
Yeah.
And then the commercial for Kiss Unmasked, I remember that commercial so distinctively because I was sitting at my grandmother's house, and basically all they did for the commercial was they went frame by frame in the album cover,
Sure.
and said what was going on, and I remember telling my mom, this was came out right before, I want to say right as summer started, and I was gonna go, and my mom told me, I told my mom I want that record, and she said, well,
No.
she said,
Quit asking me these Kiss records.
you're going
Joe.
to camp. You're going to camp.
I want to go to Kiss camp,
It
Mom.
was-
No.
Oh man, now there's some money making.
Yeah.
They're
Counselor Gene.
They made me go to camp
People,
before they bought
line
it
up
for
over
me.
here with the canoes. Go ahead. Sorry.
That was good though. Anyway, and I got back from camp, and when I got off the bus, my mom had the record for me. And that picture of me as a little boy,
Right.
wearing the Peter Criss,
Right.
I was leaving for the camp. That picture.
Okay.
So you see how it all ties together. But that was the last time I saw anything Kiss on.
Well, remember this? This wasn't Unmasked era, but this was around 80, this wasn't Unmasked. This was the Elder era. Do you remember? It wasn't Kiss, though. It was on...
Man, if you're about to say Linda Carter,
Yeah.
oh my God.
The Linda Carter. It was awful. And I'll never forget, my dad calls me up and goes, Rick, Kiss is going to be on TV in a minute. And so, of course, back then, catching Kiss on TV...
It's freaking impossible.
It was awesome. If I remember when I saw the Kiss radio commercial just by chance.
Yeah.
I didn't wait for it. It was just happened to come on. It was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
They had to recall all those because they kept blowing up.
Right.
That was a good one.
I'm sure.
Trey's humor is
That's why
coming
mine's
through.
in a glass case in case it blows, but it doesn't blow up on my other Kiss merchandise. But so he calls me up and he goes, "Yeah, you got to see Kiss is going to be on TV." And then I was like, "Okay, I never heard that they were going to be on TV, but I'll take your word for it." So of course I change everybody's television viewing habits for the next hour, and she comes on, and then it was this like dancing Kiss, and Bob Mackie, the guy who designed a lot of Cher's as crazy outfits, did the
Dynasty.
Well, I don't know if he did the Dynasty costumes, but he did do the costumes for that special.
Right.
And they come dancing around, and then my dad calls me back.
Eyes,
and
I can remember watching that.
It's on YouTube.
Fantasy.
But I remember looking at my mom and going, "Mom, I don't think that's Kiss."
And she's
man."
like, "It's Kiss. It's the same band, Joe, that I'm not buying you. That's why I look at them prancing around there. They look like that madam. They look like that madam on the solid gold there."
Yeah.
There was also
Watch what you say about my mother.
Madam.
Anyway,
Madam Polo.
Madam Polo.
There's,
But yeah, I mean that was a mind blowing. Like fucking, I just wasted because of course Kiss and that whole sequence of what was it, Aerosmith, Tina Turner.
No, it was
Turner?
Kiss. Well, the song "Rock and Roll Fantasy" by Bad Company, Tina Turner, Kiss, and I don't know. It wasn't Aerosmith. I don't know who the other band was. I'm sure you can.
Hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Elder movie thing, and let's listen to it and see if let's see if it comes through first. I've never seen this. Have you guys?
I have.
I have not. I wish we could put it on the big screen in here. Can you shoot it over there to producer Luke so we can all watch it?
Here we go.
Yeah. Boy.
It's a Ron Perse film documentary. It's doing nothing. From the 1981 Kiss concept album. That's what it says.
That's why the movie's not doing anything either. Well,
There's supposed to be audio, I think.
Yeah, that's really strange. So let's not worry about that then.
yeah. No plug for you, people.
I did put it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Podcast Rock City.
So go like our page.
Go like our page and then comment on it and man, fill it up. Put whatever you want. If you one of the things that I started was, and I want you guys to do the same thing. Is I know every one of us has a picture where we're with a member of Kiss, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what I did was I made my own picture solo album. Not like as in like my face, like if I'd put out a Kiss solo album, but it's Joe's pictures Kiss wise.
Gotcha.
And it's so, and then we'll have some stuff where we're all together, because we have done stuff together and put that stuff on. And then if you guys are when you're listening, if you want, go put a picture of you with Paul or Gene or Peter. Man, if you got pictures of you with Peter, that's rare. I mean, I know you got, well, Trey doesn't, he missed it and I missed it, but you've got it. But if you got pictures with the band, no matter what member, even Tommy Thayer.
Yeah, we probably won't post those, but we'll just give you some sort of we're sorry for your bad luck.
Attach them to our timeline so we can see them. I think it'd be really awesome. It's cool, because just like you, we sell, and even though when we're listening, you might hear Rick, ragging, new Kiss, he still loves Kiss.
Sure.
Just he just feels like it's a slap in the face.
Well, it's like love. It's a slap in the face.
Exactly.
Singing na 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 na.
And so any stories you got, and if you want to argue with Rick as well,
or Lee, because me and Lee always take sides on this too.
Yeah, but Lee, she'll go to the concerts. I know because in the last show she was there with me.
Right, I know, and see that's where I've drawn the line on it where. I don't go to the concerts no more. I feel like I'm retired from the Kiss Army. It's like being in the Marines. It's like, you can still yell Semper Fi and stuff, but you don't got to go back to the, the core. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I am going to be going to the South Carolina show in August. So before that
Look for Joe there.
Before that show, I will make sure that I distinctively tell you what I'm going to be wearing. Maybe I'll have a Podcast Rock City shirt by then.
Yeah.
And then you guys, because what I want to do, I thought about doing was getting a Podcast Rock City shirt done.
And have people sign
white
it?
and have people sign it.
Joe just wants people to touch his body. He's like, hey, come here and sign
It just doesn't happen anymore. Except when Rick does. Rick's humped me from behind 3 or 4 times in the past couple of weeks now.
And the day's not over yet either.
I'm so happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Just thinking about it. Okay, next subject. Okay, so, sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, I was coming off the...
Well, thanks, Trey, but go ahead.
coming off the Linda Carter special, there was also an Entertainment Tonight thing we have on tape, from like a elder compilation of Entertainment Tonight, and you see Gene and Paul both without makeup.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes. We talked about this just the other day, and I told you, I was like, you told me, yeah, I think I have that, and I was laying in bed watching that compilation. Damn it, they're just walking like through
like
an
a
airport
court or something.
I think at that point, though, it was... so close to the idea of like, should we just take the makeup off and say,
but still, and I remember,
but I agree.
I remember you coming over to my house for the first time, and I showed you the Kiss Fever magazine, remember? And I was flipping through it, and I go, man, this is why I kept this thing for so long. Check it out. It's got Gene without makeup. And you're like, son of a bitch, I don't think I ever saw that. And you have a lot of those Kiss specialty magazines,
sure.
But the one that you didn't have was the one that I did. And I just remember going, I ran through the house to show my mom.
And she's like, get that shit out of here.
I don't care.
This is a running joke now. Anyway, but
Joe's mom.
Joe's mom.
Yeah. Disdain for Kiss.
Please, mom.
So the things my mom said about Kiss, I can't even say. But
why? Why can't you say it?
I just don't want to.
Why?
It's just because
tease.
it makes my mom seem crazy. Yes. Anyway, so
I want to know now. You can't just drop that little nugget of
well, okay. So all right. So. When Kiss did that Alive 3 tour,
right?
Not the tour, but where they went a few cities,
sure.
And we watched that Kiss video, and then it was the new Kiss video. I want to say it was Confidential, and it was coming out.
Exposed.
No,
I think it was Confidential.
It was Confidential, I think. And there's that great scene in that where that girl has that stripper chick is backstage. She's got the hair
fuzzy
on
butt.
her fuzzy butt, and Paul makes that face.
That's so funny.
That is the funniest. It's like you learn a lot about Paul Stanley in that one little shot right there.
Do you girls know each other very well?
Isn't that Bear? When you're talking about Bear. Anyway, so they're having it's like this little party, and then I walk up to Gene and he's really cordial. Hey, how you doing? And I just went, my mom says you're the devil, just like that. And she looked at me and goes, I get that a lot. I was like, awesome. And,
Then he put his finger under Joe's nose and goes, smell your mother.
I'm not sure I want to do this show anymore. I think I'm going to leave it. Anyway, so, okay, so... What the fuck are we talking about now? Look, I haven't even had any beers.
I haven't either. I haven't either, believe it or not. Not yet. No, you were talking about the Kiss Confident, about them watching, and your mom, you said you went before.
Oh, yeah, that's what, I told Gene that my mom thinks he was the devil. And anyway, everybody just went click. Okay, so, all right, so let's see. How are we doing? Okay, so... Yeah, so in the end of the show, at the end of our elder talk, if you had to rate the elder as far as like 5 stars, or 1 star, as far as like the music or
what's the overall?
What's your overall rating for the elder?
So 5 is the best, 1 is the worst.
1 is crap.
1 is crap. Well, I'm not going to give it crap. I would
how
say,
about tongues? We're going to give it tongues.
I'll always give it my nickel bag. So I would give it 3.5 nickel bags.
Wow, that's pretty good though.
Sure. Well, I mean, for several reasons. I mean, I do like the album. I'm kind of like where Kiss is with it. It's a good album. It's just not a good Kiss album.
Right.
I do go listen to it from time to time. I do think the production value on it's done really well. It's just like I said, it's just an odd record. It's hard to come off of listening to Destroyer or Love Gun or Rock and Roll Over or the first three or Alive or Live 2 and then kind of go into that. It was just such a weird offshot direction for Kiss, But I'll give it 3.5, sure.
And how about you, Trey?
Well, I'll take a point you said as far as it's a good album, but not a good Kiss album. So I'll rate it with two different distinctions. As a not if Kiss hadn't released it and it was just a whole other entity who would release that album, 3 stars. As far as a Kiss album goes, I'll go with 2.5.
2.5. And for me, I think that and one of the things is it has a lot of since I have so many memories of getting it and everything else, and that kind of weighs in. But I think that I would probably weigh it at. I'd probably give it 4 stars. Just because I really love so many different songs on there. You could take off I, and I would think the album was near perfect. I just hate that song so much just because it sounds like they're trying so hard.
I don't hate that song. I mean, actually,
They say balls.
Yeah, unless they're on Fridays and then they say guts.
Yeah.
It's like, anyway, okay, so
What's your rating again?
4.
Four?
4 tongues.
And there's one thing I want to say about Trey's rating system really quick was I just think it would have been it would have been a lower rating if another band have put that out, honestly.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I can't think of any band, not new, never unheard of, or a seasoned band put that album out and people embrace it. I think it would be embraced even worse, really. I think that's the only thing that maybe did help it a little bit was the fact that Kiss's name was kind of somewhat attached to it. Maybe they should have called that album Kiss Illuminati. Okay, well, look, that's going to wrap up our The Elder podcast. First of all, really quick, before we wrap the show up, I want to ask Lee what she thinks about The Elder. Okay, so yet again, she's gone. She'll be back again, on an upcoming show. But this is our Elder show. I mean, we'll probably do more topics on The Elder. That's one thing about this show. I have to say that.
Never run out of stuff.
Never run out of stuff, and we probably will, return to different eras and talk about The Elder some more at one point. I mean, we're not like, oh, we've already talked about that, we're done. I mean, Kiss fans will talk about Kiss on multiple levels, so we could possibly easily revisit this topic again. So
on the next show, we're going to crack open the
beers.
Yes, the Kurt Gooch, and I can't even say that guy's last name.
But you did say Gooch.
Yeah, Gooch. And Jeff, look, it's Jeff Suhs. Sus. Anyway, I'm sorry, Jeff, if you're not listening.
The Gooch, he finally quit beating up Arnold and wrote a book.
Remember that? Did we ever see the Gooch? It was a girl.
Yeah, I think
it was a girl.
Okay.
Anyway, we're going to break open Kiss Alive Forever. We're going to go to the back of the book where all the statistics are, and we're going to BS about, the bands that opened for Kiss, and then, why people didn't go see them during whatever eras, tour. Like I said, message us at on
Facebook. I was going to say hit us up on the Podcast Rock City over on Facebook, Twitter, and we should make us a Tumblr page, I would imagine. But so thanks for listening. Check us out next time, and we'll see you next time, people.
All right.
On Podcast Rock City.
Good night. We love you.
I'm Nickelback Rick.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Joe.
We'll see you next time.